Camera number 201 of 365 is the Chinon CE4. It's a camera that looks like it's a manual camera, but actually it does require three, unusually, LR44 batteries to operate the camera and its light meter. So let's go ahead and put some batteries into the camera. So having taken the battery lid off, we can place our three LR44 with the positive terminal facing down into the camera. And then we just simply put the battery compartment lid back on. You'll notice on the base there's a tripod mount, and there is provision to add a winder, a power winder. We'll come back to that because I do actually have that a bit later on in the video. And then our button that releases our film advance so that we can rewind our film back into our film canister. It takes Pentax K lenses. I've got here an auto Chinon, a 50mm 1.7 lens, and we take it off by releasing the lens release button. And then we have our stop down lever, our self timer, which has 5 seconds or 10-second delay. Let's just do the 5-second delay by rotating the dial and then actuating the shutter button. It will count down and actuate. There we go. Let's just put that back, otherwise I'll forget. And then we have another lever, which I don't know what that is. I've never used it. Is that a memory lock? I shall have to go and investigate. Yes, I can actually confirm it is an exposure memory lock button. Having looked at the manual, so we press that button and lock in the exposure. And then our flash synchronization port. And that's it as far as the front goes. So it is can be set to auto. It's an aperture priority camera, so we choose our aperture and the camera will respond by choosing the correct shutter speed. And then of course we can take it off and then go completely solo and choose both aperture and shutter speed. Shutter speeds go up to 1/1000th of a second. On the other side we have our film speed dial, which we have to lift. No, we don't lift. We press the lock button and rotate, which does then means we can then use exposure compensation by changing effectively the shutter speed, the film speed of our camera. Looking through the viewfinder, we have our shutter speeds. I'm trying to show, I don't know whether I can show you that. I don't think that will come up. There we go, just about. You might just be able to make out our shutter speeds down here, and they're illuminated by LEDs. No shutter aperture, unfortunately, through the viewfinder, but you can't have everything. A film memo on the back there, and also a little button, which I don't know whether I show that. There we go, just there, for double exposures. We simply slide it, and then presumably it releases the release, but that allows us to actuate the shutter without moving the film on. Let's turn that off. Excellent. A film is put into the camera by lifting our film rewind crank and placing our film into our camera. Now, I mentioned earlier that you can fit a motor wind. Enter stage left, a Chinon PW540 power winder. Requires 4 AA batteries, and then we can place it on the camera, making sure we put it in the correct location, and then just lock it down. And the camera needs batteries to operate, in addition to the batteries in the power winder. And then we can put it on to single release, and we have our shutter release button. I think we're going to have to put it on, let's put it on 1,000th of a second to make it a bit quicker. Or we can make it a continuous release. Quite noisy, but very satisfying, I must say. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So, that is camera number 201 of 365.